Why has Mozilla added a wallet to their browser?
People still like crypto?
No, it's not that kind of wallet. It's the kind that asks you to log in every time. Like you got something special you saved, and I don't know. I,
We're live now,
I,
by the way. Hi,
we are
Bill.
live now.
Greetings.
We have a bill.
What's going on?
Post no bills. Hi, Bill.
Didn't know if you were
Hello.
gonna make it or not.
Well, Leo was a half hour late again. So
I haven't posted
Some of
the
those
stream
people.
anywhere.
Some people, you just can't get them to be responsible.
I'm just glad when they show up at all, to be honest with you.
Oh, Norbert.
Didn't show up today. But he did ping me back on Discord because I feel like I have to get on there every single week and say, another hour, guys. You know, I feel like I gotta mother people because it's just, I mean, anyway. And then that's when he came back. Twice now he's done that to me. Oh, I'm not going to be able to make it or whatever.
10 minutes before?
Yeah. Exactly. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. He's a good guy. He's very knowledgeable. Hey, Majid.
Hey, Majid.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good day.
Good day, one and all. How are you all?
Oh, that's a bad mic.
Here we go again. Mic issues again. Here we go.
Oh, that cleared it up.
Better.
There's always something. How are you?
Do you have a mic?
Yes.
Breaking up really, really bad.
Is it working though? Is the question.
No. Nope, that's not the one you're using.
Good one.
It's not. Now is it working?
No.
Interesting.
And I think there's... Oh, no, that's Moss. Moss went all swirly.
Moss needs a router. I'm going to have to take him a router down there.
I don't think you're using that mic yet. Can't hear you.
Nope. We can hear anything.
Now your camera's stuck and we can hear you.
So it's not Video Ninja's fault.
Well, I'm just going to blame me now.
I don't know what happened to Moss.
I think it's DNS. You know why I think it's DNS?
No, I have no idea why you think it's DNS. Why do you think it's DNS?
Because it's always DNS.
All right. Is that any better?
No.
Eh?
Huh? No.
Don't show me this again. I don't want to switch my bloody stupid Discord.
See what Discord says your microphone is as opposed to your default mic.
See, the problem with Discord is I can't fix anybody's problems.
Everything works fine here.
Yep. Yours has been the easiest stream so far.
I've got me a new microphone. Take a look at this mammy jammy.
Oh, you got another new one?
Yeah, look at this bad boy right here.
Why aren't you using it?
Because it's... I need a new I need a different, shorter pedestal for it. Because I can't put it right in front of me like this because I wouldn't be able to get at my keyboard.
Ah.
Because you guys didn't like the other one.
That's
and
what
when
3D printers are for. Well, it sounded like ass.
Yeah, it just wasn't doing what I needed it for. I needed something that I could hang up in the air in front of my face about 1.5 feet.
That's what 3D
not have
printers
to-
are for.
Yeah. So
They,
this
they,
thing is about the size of a can of Monster Energy drink. It's a ribbon mic, so it has to. You also have to be real careful with it.
they make adapters for the Q2U so that you can hang that, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, I've got it in a shock mount that I can.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I can do whatever I want with it. Hang on.
And you were in the DFW and you didn't stop by and say hi.
I got what is that exit about 25, 30 miles out of town, and then I had to cut straight south on 19.
Oh, were you over by
Down the
Paris
middle.
or something?
No, well, not really. I was down in Wills Point, which is probably about 20 miles out of town, but it's down there between 20 and 30.
Mm. On the south side of
Oh,
Dallas?
yeah. East.
East side of Dallas.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't quite make it all the way into Dallas.
well, I'm northeast
Right.
of Dallas.
And I mean, I didn't even, when I got unloaded, I turned around and I turned and burned and
Went back to Indiana.
probably, yeah, well, I had to go through Kentucky. I probably did about 3,000 miles this week. And next week,
That doesn't sound fun.
it's about the only thing I can do.
So has the actual release of 21.2 actually happened?
Yes. It's released, it's not announced. That's what Moss was saying a little bit ago.
Yeah, and that's what got me confused. Because surely if you release something, you'd want to announce it?
I don't know, are they waiting until they get the update path done before they announce? I don't know.
Not in the update manager yet.
Let's have a look. Let's see what's on the website at this moment in time. 21.1. I'll go to download. It's 21.1.
Hey, Majid, can you go over to Discord and click on that little down arrow next to the microphone and tell me what Discord has as your microphone?
So Discord has as my microphone this toner which I've got in front of my face. I've just checked it.
And so it's that toner that sounds like shit?
Well, I don't think so, because normally it sounds quite good.
I know
Is
it
that-
has sounded good before, but right now it's just hot as hell. Can you try and maybe turn down the gain a little bit? And Discord should automatically up your volume.
Yeah, it should handle all that automatically.
What about now?
Speak a little bit more.
And about now?
Keep talking, so that way Discord fixes it.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to keep talking.
Man,
Keep talking.
something is up with that microphone because it just sounds like shit.
Did it get dropped or something? Maybe it.
No, I don't know. No, it's been fine. Okay, let's try it. Let's do the good.
Whoa. What the? And he's out.
That was loud.
Yeah, that was pretty obnoxious.
Maybe.
He's right though. It's 21.1 Vera.
Yeah, it is 21.1.
So. I wish you were closer, Majid. I've got 3 of these Q2Us now. Just so that I got spares to keep
You
in
came
my...
by Dallas and you could have swung by and dropped off one at my house.
That's right. You need one too, don't you?
I do.
You won't have that fancy little just touch the bottom and it goes out.
Which
button,
does
though.
kind of suck.
You need to get one of these then, if I can stretch it out far enough.
What's that?
You just, it's
Oh, a
mute
giant button.
Yeah,
Oh,
all you do is touch the
Yeah.
giant mute button.
You know, I have made a lot of my own macro pads,
Yeah.
so I could
I mean,
probably make a giant button that does that.
it's just something that sends a pulse audio command or whatever to
Yeah.
mute the microphone.
Well, I'd probably use a Pro Micro and a MX Cherry Blue, and then 3D print a casing for it. And if I make it large enough, I'll have to add some springs so that it bounces back up. But yeah, I don't see why I couldn't do it.
I want you guys to hear what this thing sounds like.
Oh, we still haven't heard what Majid sounds like. Doesn't sound like we're going to either.
Oh man.
And now we can hear you,
Okay.
and it sounded okay.
Oh, did it? Okay. So I think it's something to do with if I've got it on Pro Audio, it messes up.
Okay.
If I've just got it on
Short
mono, it
bites.
seems to work better.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's obviously something to do with the something to do with the Pro Audio thing that messes it up. I think.
Now, what is
Keep
it?
it on mon.
What is it? Okay, let's hear Bill real quick, and then we'll come back.
Let's
to you.
hear Bill real quick. That's right.
That sounds
This is
pretty
got it.
decent.
Announcer voice.
This has got a dulcet tone to beat all hell right here.
You need a pop filter, but yeah, it sounds real good.
It's got
Yeah.
a high pass. If I turn this on, it gives it more of a high pass.
Oh, that
sort
sounds
of
really
effect.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
this baby was not cheap. But
Oh,
I'm not
nice.
kidding. You could kill somebody with this thing. It weighs about 15 pounds.
It sounds really
It-
good.
My son talked me into this.
Your sibilants are a little long, but windscreen, pop filter, whatever, that'll handle that.
Yeah, I'm probably a little too close to it too. But it's a condenser, and it's a ribbon. It's an active ribbon mic, and I don't know if I'm gonna make very much use of it, but it's kind of cool to have.
Mm.
because
Oh, it
it's
sounds
old,
good.
old timey looking.
Oh, you could easily 3D print an adapter for that, so it would fit onto that boom arm.
Well, it'll fit on it, but I have to bring the arm in order to, because it's so tall
Heavy. Okay.
and heavy. I'd have to bring it all the way down to the desk, which makes the keyboard hard to access.
Well, why not
Or
use it from a downward angle?
because then the letters are upside down.
Oh my God, no, not that.
You feel me on this, Moss? Moss, you of all people should be able to understand.
Everything but upside down letters.
I can't stand that.
What?
The
What's
letters
topic?
on the front of the microphone would be upside down
Oh.
if I hung it.
I am not OCD.
Apparently, I am.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is it the Linux that made you OCD? Is it the OCD that got you into Linux? Who knows?
Boy, that's a good question. I'm sure,
Well,
I'm sure
and
there's
Bi-
some relationships there. Yeah.
In Bill's case, he's CDO.
You got to put them in the right order.
Yeah.
All right, Majid. Your microphone. Which microphone is it?
It's Toner, AC.
Your picture
30.
is frozen, Majid.
I know my picture keeps freezing. Something keeps happening. It's just a pile of pants.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll get to what's probably causing the issue in a second. So is that a USB microphone?
Yes, it is a USB microphone.
Okay, and do you have it hooked directly to your laptop?
It's directly connected to the box. It's a mini PC, this one.
Okay, so it's a mini
Oh.
PC.
It's probably routing all of his traffic through the USB bus. So the USB bus has to share all of the IOs from the microphone with the network.
Maybe that's an issue if he's got like really, really high speed internet, but I don't think that's what it is yet. We're not quite there yet. So you're not using some kind of USB hub?
No,
No,
directly into the machine.
directly into the machine with an extremely small power supply.
It's got a normal power supply connected up to.
It's got a laptop power supply.
Yeah, it's got a brick type thing. Yeah.
Okay, now maybe your power distribution is not properly powering your USB. Maybe this is not a guaranteed fix, so don't like run off and spend a crap ton of money on it. But what you can do is your camera also hooked up directly to USB?
Yes, but another USB port. But yes,
Right.
USB port and the back of the machine.
What you can do is get a powered USB hub. They're actually, you can get some for like $5 or something, and test
Okay.
that out.
Anchor is a good brand, Anker.
Yeah.
That's what
Okay.
I'm using.
Encore is a good band, Ankor.
Powered USB hub.
I think you meant Angkor, but that's okay.
I did not.
Well,
Here we go.
anyhow, so yes, I have my sound plugged in through a powered USB port.
Okay. Bit more
And
expensive than I anticipated.
Oh, really? Oh.
More expensive than you anticipated, then you're looking in the wrong spot, which means you went to Amazon and the first thing that popped up was their expensive crap.
How did you guess?
Incidentally, I did manage to post a picture of my guitar into general.
Oh, did you? Sorry.
I haven't got it yet. I'll get it Tuesday or Wednesday.
Ooh, that does look fancy.
Purdy.
For a second, I thought it was fretless.
No,
It's
it's not fretless. Actually, the neck looks somewhat unimpressive to me, but I've seen some videos of some really good guitarists make it sound really nice. It
So-
has a number of preset settings on it, and there's also an app that you can do on your phone that you can make it do more things. It comes with a microphone, which I thought was really strange. There is no soundboard. There is a speaker on the lower panel there, which means that speaker grill, which is just cloth, might take a bit of damage if you're heavy with your pick.
How's it sound?
Oh, it sounds gorgeous. Let me see if I can find video. There was one video that really got me.
So here's a question for you guys while Moss is doing that. What box should I install my Linux Mint on?
All of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I knew you'd say that. No, the reason I ask is that, because I'm doing this as a kind of a semi-wanderings, not been on Linux Mint for a while type of jazz. So the three options are this podcasting box, which is just a normal mini PC Core i7 8th gen. Yeah, that's one. Second is my convertible laptop. And third is the Windows tablet that I've got.
All three. Which Windows tablet do you have?
I have a Lenovo Mix 520.
Definitely. And your convertible, and the mini PC that you have there. You should put Linux on all of them.
I mean, they've all got a version of it. So this has got Kubuntu on it. The other one has the convertible laptop has Ubuntu. The Windows tablet is the only one I haven't put anything on yet, but that's only because I haven't got around to it more than anything else.
I highly recommend Mint for the tablet.
Okay. I think that's what I'm going to try because I want to check out all these touchpad gestures and all that sort of stuff. And
My only other recommendation there would be anything with like GNOME 3. So Fedora.
Yeah. So that's why I've got Ubuntu on my convertible, because of the fact that it's got a touch screen and stuff like that, and I quite like that bit of it. So yeah, okay, I might do that actually. That means I can keep Kubuntu on this. I'll have GNOME on one thing, and I'll have Mint on something else. So yeah, that works actually.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Kubuntu.
Yeah, and that means I can then kind of compare and contrast. You see.
Except for snaps.
Well, that's an Ubuntu thing, but yeah.
Yeah, And to be fair, I install FlatHub anyway, and I just install by FlatHub.
Yeah, I saw Alan Pope actually has a script now that will look
Yeah.
at your snap system and convert everything to flat packs and install everything for you.
Yeah,
This
it's
is-
about 9. It's about 9
This is
months old. I
Alan
remember.
Pope. Alan
I know.
Pope is it's the guy that
know.
was behind all the snaps.
Yeah.
but-
Of all people. Yeah, I remember it was about
Did they
6 to 8
shit
months
in
ago.
his Wheaties on his way out or something? Gosh sakes.
I know. It is quite entertaining that it's of all people, it's him. But yeah. No, I mean, I've actually used that script. I've used that script to uninstall the snap versions of Firefox and whatever, and so yeah.
Joe, I put a video in, but you probably don't want to watch it while you're doing this.
Probably. We might get copyright striked and demonetized.
Woohoo.
Is it possible to get demonetized from 0? End up in minus?
They're not going to fine
find
us.
out.
Yeah, like they're
If
gonna
they
charge
did,
us
it's
for
not like
posting
any of
our
us would
content.
pay it.
Yeah.
What'd they do? Kick us off of YouTube? We'll have to go over to RedTube instead.
Different thing, Joe.
I know. That was the point.
You just said RedTube because you didn't want to say PornTube or YouPorn.
I wanted you to have to think for a second.
We would just have to start making real player files and then download them from the website.
Oh man, I remember Real Player. I loved
Yeah.
that thing.
Well, there are
Oh,
still other choices, like what? PeerTube, DTube.
Well, PeerTube would require everyone to be online.
Is
It's-
Kazaa still
yeah.
running?
No.
Nobody liked
Can't
AIDS.
be. Cannot be. I will look, but I doubt it.
How about Morpheus and LimeWire and
ShareBear.
ShareBear? Aries. What was the big one?
LimeWire was the big one?
Wikipedia says Kazaa was a peer-to-peer file sharing application. Who did we lose?
Bill?
Bill?
My bad.
Sure.
We know you're bad.
I just meant to mute you guys so that I could work on OT.
Apparently Kazaa died in August of 2012.
All right, okay.
Nobody cared.
Yeah, by then nobody gave a crap, did they? So I went to watch the new Mission Impossible today.
Did you? How was it?
It was good fun. It's good fun. I mean, don't engage your brain. Nice stunts. It's fine.
Well,
Good
yeah,
way.
How
it's a Scientologist. You don't have a brain.
old is Tom now? He's like 60 or some shit, isn't he?
He is 60. Yeah, he's at 60 this year. He's
Eh,
obviously sacrificing children in an altar to the back in his back garden and drinking the blood. There's no other human way that he still looks that fit and whatever. Do you know what I mean? He's
Right.
there's some kind of
Scientology, it
devil
does a
worship.
body good.
sacrificing
that-
babies.
Yeah, that and probably lots of plastic surgery. I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
I suppose you can afford all of it.
Yeah, but you know, he doesn't look like a lot of people look after they've had a crap ton of plastic surgery.
Yeah,
in their
that's true.
He, like Madonna, she looks like she's had a lot of plastic
Ooh.
surgery.
Oh yeah,
Right?
She looked nasty. Yeah, I saw that.
But Tom still looks like
100%
Tom.
Unrestored. This is WYSIWYG, baby.
That's kind of scary.
But yeah, anyway, but yeah, it was good fun from that perspective. You know, there was some good stunts and all that sort of stuff. It's not the best action film of the year though. That's John Wick 4.
That was pretty good.
I enjoyed John Wick 4. I was worried about whether it was just going to be exhausting and just too long and whatever. But no, I mean, they
They
still
did
managed to
slow
make it
down
really
the
good.
tempo a lot in that movie and give some detail here and there, which was kind of cool. But I don't know. I have Fast X, but I don't know if I want to watch it or not.
See, the thing is, I've only ever seen the first Fast and Furious. I've not seen any others. Or I might have seen Tokyo Drift, like half of it once it was on telly sometime. But so I'm kind of like, now, do I want to start watching it from number 2 and then go all the way, or do I have like better things to do with my time, like I don't know, breathe? Do you know?
I swear, all the movies can do these days is make video games on film.
Yeah, this is part of
Fast
it.
and Furious is a racing game. John Wick is a shooting game. I saw one. I saw 1 and 2, but 2 was just such a shoot 'em up. You know, come around the corner, shoot the guy, go to the next corner, shoot the next guy. Blah blah. There was nothing there. I'm not going to see 3 and 4. I'm sorry.
Are you going to see 5?
No.
So what we did watch yesterday as well is I'm introducing my kids to Indiana Jones because they've not seen the old 80s films and stuff.
Yeah, California Smith. Yeah.
Yeah, so
California Smith and the Temple of Doom.
So we saw Raiders of the Lost Ark, which I think is the weakest of the 3 actually.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. 3? There's a lot more than.
No. Okay. This is if you include the abomination that was Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and Shia LaBeouf, as I like to call him. And I haven't seen the newest one, but I've not heard good stuff about it.
From it initially reviewed well before it actually released, and then about the time it released, it was reviewing very, very poorly. And then most of the people that I actually watched that reviewed it said that it was pretty neutral. There was a lot of fan service there, but it wasn't a great movie and it wasn't a terrible movie.
Are we talking about the newest one?
The newest one.
Yeah, Dial of Destiny.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anywho, but yeah, and one of the things that I had to kind of keep reminding my son as we were watching it is, those are real snakes. That's a real plane. It's not all special effects. And he's like, "Ooh, wow, okay." The novelty of it.
No ticket. When he throws them off the blimp.
Oh, but that's in Last Crusade. We haven't got to Last Crusade yet. But yeah.
California Smith in the hopefully last movie, but it wasn't.
Methinks Moss isn't a fan.
He doesn't have to be. I still think they're great, despite the fact that Big Bang Theory almost ruined Indiana Jones for me, and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Go onto YouTube right now and look up Big Bang Theory, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay, I'm gonna have to take that out.
Well, I like the Weird Al movie better.
Basically, if Indiana Jones hadn't done anything, the outcome would have been exactly the same.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's completely pointless. Yeah, good point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I said, almost ruined it for me.
It's still enjoyable.
You know the joke about the second movie? Those weren't diced monkey brains. Those were Reese's Pieces.
Oh, that is terrible. That is so terrible. Oh my lord. If I wasn't sitting down, I'd have to sit down.
At least you got it, Majid.
Yeah, that's a proper nerd's joke, isn't it? Really? Oh dear. Well, I'm off on holiday in 2 weeks' time. I finally booked it.
So I heard that there was some
Holiday
movement
or
on
strike?
the strike front.
You what? Sorry.
I heard there was some movement on the strike front.
The movement was so. ultimately was so unbelievably insulting, yeah, that it's for people who are slightly on the fence like myself. I'm definitely striking now. Definitely. No, seriously. The the demands, I mean, obviously I know the demands were never really going to be met because, you always aim for higher than you actually want, isn't it? So, there's been a 30%, real terms cut in doctors' pay since 2008 because we've all been pay frozen, right, for 15 years. So they so the demand from the British Medical Association was 35%. Well, we knew that wasn't going to happen, but that's what they're going to do. The Scottish government offered 17.5% and spread over 2 years, and the doctors they accepted it. Seemed fair enough to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our Prime Minister offered us 6%.
6%.
Yeah, and inflation is going at 9%.
Yeah.
Right? So it was a case of, you know what? He can F off. I'm striking.
But he says he is not negotiating any further. That's his last and final offer.
Yeah. Do you know what that
That's
means?
what they always say.
That means I don't care. I am not gay. I am losing this job in a year's time. So I don't care. Do whatever you want. I'm going to lose anyway. And I'm going to leave it to the next lot to sort out.
It becomes
what he's
not
saying.
my problem. And then when he runs, after the next guy quits, he's like, well, I'm not the one that added all this debt because we're paying our doctors more.
Exactly.
I saved us money.
Exactly. Joe, you've got it 100% right.
Oh,
The
there's nothing
script is
particularly
so obvious.
unique about that.
If you can't fund the blanking NHS, why do you have the blanking NHS? You could have a wonderful healthcare system like we have in America.
Exactly. This is exactly what the Conservatives say.
Hold on. What?
That was sarcasm, Joe. I
Oh,
can't believe you didn't smell it.
My heart attack almost, whew.
Yeah. Yeah, that was.
I was looking away
of
for a second.
sarcasm.
It took a little bit for my brain to process the comedy.
Just breathe. I need you to breathe, Joe. I need you
Yeah.
to breathe.
But the worst thing about it is that there are genuinely some politicians in the UK that genuinely believe that the US health system is better.
Now they're
And
saying
Because
sorry,
they are rich, and it is for them.
it's like, which psychiatric institute shall I admit you to?
Look, the reason we don't have the wait times is because the people that need the medical care know that they're not going to get it because they can't afford it, or they're going to be paying the rest of their lives for it, so they don't get it and they die.
Yeah. So it's a good way of kind of, controlling your expenditure if you just let people die.
That's the VA's policy.
Republican health care plan. Don't get sick. If you get sick, die fast.
Ask Bill. That's like the VA's Raison d'etre right there.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't got to pay if they're dead.
Yeah.
The VA is just an example of one of those things that exists so that they can say it exists. Beyond that, I don't know. I've got friends that claim to have good experience with it, but I think they're just putting up with.
So there's a perception. So there's a perception here that most veterans in the US are Republican leaning. Is that true?
That's not
or
wrong.
Is that just?
That's not
wrong. Okay. So then surely the VA would be better to them.
You would assume.
There is a large portion of active military who are way off the MAGA bus.
But the reason, you have to understand the reason that veterans tend to lean Republican. A lot of your veterans would be a little bit more libertarian. Most of your veterans don't want the government involved in their lives anymore, which is why I say they'd be better off as a libertarian. But they're also very big into like the Second Amendment, which is the right to bear arms, because all of your veterans are at the very least trained in how to use a weapon. So they think
I'll tell you exactly from a soldier's standpoint. I can only really speak about the Army because I was in during a very unique time when well, the first half of my career was when Bush Sr. was president. The second half was when Clinton was president. And those were two fundamentally different administrations, at least in terms of how they dealt with military spending. And when Bush was president, we got pay raises, we had better chow hall food. If you needed a new mattress for your barracks room, or if you wanted a can of paint, or anything you needed, uh, issued like a new Gore-Tex jacket or something, you would get it for free. Uh, Life was just plain better in the military with a Republican president, with a Republican Congress. Clinton gets into office, all of a sudden, there's no money anymore for anything that had anything to do with the quality of soldiers' lives. Because here's what happens when it comes time for military spending. The upper administration says to the generals, to the middle administration, we need to cut spending. Well, the generals are not going to cut spending on the things that they think is important. They're going to cut it on all of the creature comforts, all of the things that make military life a positive experience. And that is going to be why you see a lot more Republican-leaning military people.
Yeah, but I don't think it
But-
was the same during Trump's run as a
No,
Republican
I
president.
can't speak to that, but
Yeah, Bush Jr. and Trump were not the same kind of Republicans.
Well, I think that was that senior? That was senior, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
the Republicans are not what they used to be. Now they say we support the military, and they support them right up until they get killed. And if they don't get killed, they don't support them anymore.
right, exactly. And the entire government, maybe not as much the Democrats right now, but most definitely most of the government has forgotten that taking care of your veterans is a cost of war. Sorry. And now I will say that here in the DFW area, I have had a much better experience with the VA because there is an ongoing pilot plan to improve the VA, and it is here. So I get really good health care here. But I do understand that that is not the same everywhere else, and it definitely was not the same in other places that I've lived.
Yeah, my husband-in-law is in western Nebraska, and he has to go all the way to Cheyenne, Wyoming to get to a VA. Or Denver, which is farther.
My dad's got to travel pretty far to get to the VA. And now, I always said that one of the only good things that Trump ever did, and I understand that he did it for selfish reasons, was to allow members of the VA, former soldiers, to get private doctors if no one from the VA was available so that they could get seen in a timely manner. I understand that it's actually really, really difficult to get that done, and the VA itself has been pushing back against people doing that.
She's still making some dinner.
Anyhow.
Do you use your VA benefits, Bill?
Bill is somewhere else.
Yep, Bill is somewhere else. Billiam. Billy.
Mr. Bill, Mr. Bill.
Will
God
I
damn
am.
it, Hauser. God damn it, Hauser.
Watch your language. Family show.
Private Hauser. Major Hauser.
He is not here. For he has risen, as he said.
Oh, Bill so loved the world that he changed his microphone.
He muted us. He's like, I'm gonna go work on my other show.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
like you
yeah,
guys.
Yeah.
Whosoever
Is it-
believeth
is it
on
with his
him
re-
shall not listen.
He's off. Yeah, he's off to be his.
Bill, can you hear us now?
Bill.
Nope. He's playing with his other podcast.
Yeah. With his
Linux
real
off
friends.
the cuff. Right? He wants
So
to hear Leo's voice some more.
So I have a friend who contacted me after a long time this week, and said, "Oh, I'm you want to come out for a meal? And I was like, oh yeah, it's not a bad idea. It's been a while, and he sent me the link. And basically, what it is over the last 2 years, he's been going through a midlife crisis. Now, I mean, we're all going through midlife crises. Some of us,
I'm going through a late life crisis.
yeah,
It's called being
so
broke.
some of us are going to the gym, and that's my midlife crisis. Yeah,
I don't
His
even
midlife-
know anyone named Jen.
Does it count as a midlife crisis for me if I've been doing it since I was 14?
No.
Okay.
No.
Checking.
The fact is that I was a right fat bastard when I was a younger. Do you know what I mean? I've now become fit because I've now been feeling old. Anywho, his midlife crisis, he freely admits, is that he's got a motorcycle license and bought a Harley Davidson. So, he's now got a whole set of new mates, Muslim bikers, apparently. They've got an Instagram page, and they do, like meals out and things like this. So he was like, oh, come down for that. Unfortunately, I was still at work, so I was like, sorry, man, I can't come because of the strike. But, he's done well. He's had a couple of accidents, and he says that you're not a proper biker unless you had an accident. So I was like, okay. And, we'll get you on one. And the minute my wife heard, she was like, no. Your life insurance isn't good enough for you to die yet.
Really?
I busted my collarbone on a scooter, but it was only a Honda 50.
I figure your life insurance would be pretty good. I mean, some days I'm really surprised my wife hasn't offed me yet.
No, I mean, the only real benefit of my life insurance policy is that the house's mortgage gets paid off.
I'm worth
Not
like
much.
1.4 million dead.
Oh, I'm not worth that much.
I am. Like I said, I'm really surprised she hasn't killed me yet.
Yeah, you know what? So am I, actually. I mean, I love you, Joe, but I would have killed you.
Well, I wouldn't have killed you, Joe, unless it was my name as the beneficiary.
That's true.
And what
Well,
did it do to help your wife? I mean,
Actually, that reminds me to sort my will out. But yeah, anyway, before I started going randomly talking about strikes, yes, I'm going on holiday in a couple of weeks. I'm going to Marrakesh in Morocco.
I thought you were going to say
Finally.
Texas. I'm going to Texas.
You know what? I would come to Texas for a holiday if it wasn't that the flights were so expensive. I love
Nobody
America.
remembers that song.
No, that reference went all over our heads.
The Marrakesh Express. Tommy Boynes and Bobby Hart.
So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it. Although the weather's hot, apparently.
No, actually, that song was hit by Crosby, Stills, and Nash. So it shouldn't have been that obscure.
Oh, talking about it being hot, it's been 100 degrees for forever, but my lawn still
I
needs
wasn't
mowed.
talking about that.
Well, he was. Majid was.
Yeah. Apparently it's 100 degrees down there as well.
Yeah, but anyways, I've been waiting for my because my daughter, as part of her staying here since she's 20, is supposed to help out with mowing the lawn. But yeah,
That's some
no,
very
go
great
laugh.
Expectations. Jojo.
I do, and we have an HOA, so if it doesn't get done, they start complaining. So at 6 o'clock last night, I went out there, 100-degree weather, and in 2 hours I mowed the lawn, I weed eated, and then I don't have a proper edger, so I had to pull out the shovel and go out there and scrape back all the dirt next to the sidewalk and get that all aligned. So I did that, but I didn't quite finish with like the cleanup afterwards and the trimming of the bushes. So then I got up at 6:30 this morning, and I went out there and I swept all of that dirt that I had left on the sidewalk because it was dark last night when I finished, and I trimmed the bushes, and yeah, I mean, I thought I was going to die. I'm an old man. I can't do this shit no more.
Yeah. I'm still kind of just looking at my lawn and thinking, who's going to blink first, me or the lawn? It's going to be me.
Well, they were going to start fining me if I didn't, fix my lawn. So I
Really?
fixed my
Okay.
lawn. Yeah, I'm in an HOA.
Okay, don't know that acronym.
Homeowners
Homeowners
Association. It's someplace you don't want to be.
Okay. All right.
Honestly, I'd never been in an HOA before I moved here, and they told me before I moved in, or before I bought the place, that there was an HOA, and I asked for the paperwork for the HOA, before I made my decision, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll get that to you." And then I completely forgot about it, and they didn't want to tell me anything until after I signed the paperwork, and then they handed me the HOA paperwork, and so yeah.
HOAs are a greatly negative thing because they literally can take your house away from you without even telling you.
Okay, so as I said, I completely have no understanding.
Okay,
of it.
now
John Oliver has a thing on it you can find on YouTube.
brief overview of an HOA. A series of houses get together and say, in order to maintain our property values or increase our property values, everybody is going to pay fees into the association, and this association will then come by and tell you what you need to fix. So you have lawn standards, you have painted house standards, you have fence standards, all of it.
Do you not have like councils or municipality corporations that do that? Like government thing, basically, that
No.
would enforce that? Because
No.
for us, there are certain things like that, not as stringent, but there are certain things like, so for example, if somebody wants to extend their property, they have to apply to the council, get planning permission. All the residents have to be asked, and if the residents say no, then they can say no.
The residents don't have to be asked for the municipality, but we do have to get the proper permits from the government. But then now, because I'm in an HOA, we also have to get the HOA board to sign off on it.
So basically, it's another example of the state doesn't have something there, so people make their own version of it.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Except that these days it's being done more by the corporations. And, and there really is some backhanded stuff they can do. I know.
Oh, obviously.
Joe kind of grimaced at me there, but there are a number of incidences where homeowners association fined the person more than they could possibly pay, and then just sold the house while they were still in it without even telling them.
Right. There are some HOAs, their language allows them to do that. They can actually take your home away from you and sell it. But most homeowners associations are set up in order to be able to put a lien on your home. And the lien on your home means that you owe X amount of money to the HOA for whatever reason. You didn't pay your fees, you had fines, whatever. And you're not allowed to sell your home until you pay them off.
I'm sorry, but that's a load of bollocks, man.
Hey, I concur.
Flipping heck, who the heck are they? See, this is the thing. This is the thing that I don't understand about Americans. No offense. Okay, now Americans is a bad way of putting it. The American system, as it were. Everybody's so pissed off about government getting involved. What's the government doing in my property or in my this, whether it's the state or the federal. But then people and corporations make up their own organizations which have quasi-governmental authority, and they are not accountable to anybody, and they just do whatever the fuck they want.
And they're usually extremely corrupt.
Majid, I posted the video into general.
Yeah. It's actually a funny video. I have watched that one.
But do you kind of get my point?
I see what you're saying exactly, and I agree with you completely. Yeah. Another nice thing is that part of your fees into the HOA not only goes towards the paperwork and things like that, but it goes towards usually some kind of amenities, either like a pool or a park or both. Now, the thing about my HOA is that it's like a lot lower cost than any of the other HOAs. Like I'm only paying $350 a year, I think. So, yeah, a year. You started twitching because you thought I was going to say a month. And a lot of the HOAs around here, yeah, that's even low for a monthly fee. Like,
yeah, you don't own your house. Why bother buying it?
Well, you don't technically own your house anyway because the government can come in and take it at any goddamn time that they want to.
And they?
Yeah. either through eminent domain, or they can raise your taxes to the point where you can't afford your home anymore. And then they take it.
Well, there are some states they can't raise your taxes like that. California,
Texas ain't
for
one of
example.
them.
Yeah, Texas doesn't believe in laws.
Well, the other thing, okay, so Texas won't raise your percentage of your tax. They'll just keep reappraising your house for more and more and more until your taxes go up so much that you can't freaking afford it.
But what tax are they going to increase?
Property.
They're the property tax. So they're not technically increasing the percentage of your tax. They're increasing the supposed value of your home, which means that you're paying more monetarily in taxes.
Okay, so we have this thing called council tax, right? Where you, based on the value of your home, you pay X amount to the council, and the money is supposed to be used for the kind of council amenities, refuse collection, you know,
We pay
the
refuse
roads.
collection through our water bills.
Yeah, so our water bills are separate because that's a separate thing. But yeah, so and that's about, say, so for example, mine for the year is about £3,000 for the year, because and it's decided on the number of rooms you have in your house. And I'd taken a slightly larger property because my plan was that my mum would move in. She still hasn't, but anyway. So mine's a bit on the higher side. Normally it's between 2 and 2,500 a year.
That's
But
all.
increasing that is, it's not I mean, the only way they can really increase that is if they start changing the bandings and how much you pay per room and things like that, and all of that just becomes so much hassle that the government just doesn't bother.
Okay, now, okay, so
Sounds different to yours.
Here, every year you pay a percentage of the value of your home in taxes. So it's considered an asset. So you pay any high dollar value item that you have is an asset that you pay tax on, a property
Okay.
tax. So in order for them to collect more without raising your taxes, all they have to do is reappraise your home at a higher price. And so instead of paying on $280,000, I'm paying on $500,000.
Whatever Joe is saying is probably not true in Tennessee or Illinois.
This is Texas, where they don't have an income tax, which is so they collect
Yeah.
their taxes through property taxes.
Well, Tennessee doesn't have an income tax, and they also have an extremely low property tax. In some counties, they don't even have a property tax. So what they do make up for is in sales tax, which is a regressive tax.
We've got it all.
We've got
We
sales
hit you.
tax.
We
Oh,
hit
we've
you
got
with all
Bill.
that.
Finally, after what, did you have fun with your real friends, and then you come back?
No, I had you muted so that I could finish my audio edit.
Yeah, we were talking about you listening to Leo's voice instead of talking to us.
I was listening to my own. Thank you very much.
Is that the definition of narcissism?
Yeah, that's one.
No, narcissism is an irrational love of yourself. With him, it's the real thing.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen an irrational love for myself. I'm not even sure how that could exist.
But yeah, okay. That's yeah.
So our
I mean, 'cause
topic
because
is property tax.
Our topic
Just
is
lighten
just
things
random
up,
crap,
Tyler.
which is what it's supposed to be on the Saturday show.
I mean, for the show. We
Hmm?
were coming
Oh, for
up
the
with
show.
a topic, and we seem to be talking about property tax. And
Oh yeah, we
all
need
the
a
fun
topic.
taxes.
We need a topic for next week. I forgot that's part of the reason that we're here today.
Sure you did, Joe.
Well, what do you guys want to talk about next week?
Kind of hoping all that time I was muted that you'd have came up with something, but
Hey, Bill, I got a question for you. Do you use your VA benefits?
I have. It's been a real long time. I generally don't use the VA healthcare. We've got a hospital here, but I've got better insurance from work, so.
I use my insurance in conjunction with the VA stuff.
Yeah, I went to use the home loan, and when I went to use that, they told me, well, that there's like FHA and a bunch of other stuff that's even easier than VA, and the level of benefit is exactly the same. So I've never actually used that.
Were you
Um,
guys both in the army, or was you? Okay, I'm just wondering which of the services. That's all.
he grew
Is
up
it?
in the army, and then I guess you joined the army after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was what we affectionately called an army brat. I feel
Mm.
like he probably doesn't care much for that,
It
but
doesn't bother me. It's
that's what we
truth.
used to call them. They were a
I just
unique breed of children because they were brought up in four
barracks
years at a
and
time. We
Everywhere.
moved around, yeah, and you never really get to lay down any roots. And there is some sociological and psychological uh,
oh, mate, I understand that
impacts
completely.
from
My,
that.
my dad was a first generation immigrant to the UK. To the UK, I
Uh,
went around every 6 months. We used to move,
oh,
while when you got different jobs in different places and stuff like that. So no, I completely understand. No, the reason I'm asking is because I've I've tried multiple times now, to the extent that now I've given up trying to join the RAF, Royal Air Force.
As a doctor, they won't take you.
Hmm. Apparently, they need doctors.
That's what I thought.
you'd be too old here.
Um, no, I'm my. They want attendings. I'm an attending, obviously. I'm 42, so I'm still all right. Not that old.
Be about
Um,
8 years too old here. But I don't know
I'm yeah,
about medical.
yeah, and yeah. I've tried a couple of times, and I've looked into kind of reserves versus full on military dock and things like that. And I'll be completely honest. There's two reasons for it. One is there is a monetary aspect. You get paid better. You have better pensions. Can retire earlier. That's but secondly, I used to work. One of the previous hospitals I used to work was next to a garrison town, and so most of the doctors that I used to see were military, army, navy, and whatever. And I found them some of the best people that I ever worked with. They were, they really were. They were just very good, and to the extent that some of them were like role models. I thought. And at first, I just thought, well, maybe just, so and so is just a nice, good bloke, and so is just a good doctor. And then afterwards, it was like, yeah, the common thread between them all is that they're all military. And I think that there's something about being in a war zone that makes you quite direct, make uh, gives you the ability to make quick decisions, and at the same time have that kind of sense of community a bit, because you're working with the same people. You're either looking after your own soldiers, or that kind of thing. I don't know, maybe I've got a romantic conception of it, but
There's a
yeah,
solidarity that plays itself out among people that toil together. So then you take that concept and you multiply it out
yeah.
in a context where not only are we toiling together, but there's a real chance that might not make it home, and these might be the very last human beings we ever come in contact with in this life.
Mm.
And there's something very visceral about that. And there's no atheists in foxholes,
Yes, there are.
as they say. You ever been in one?
No, but I've read a number of people that got out of foxholes that say yes, there are a lot of atheists in foxholes.
Well,
Yeah, all right, if you say so. I won't. I'm sure. I'm not sure. I believe
After
it.
they got out of the foxhole, they said that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I lived. I guess I'll go back to talking shit.
Well, I wouldn't have made it.
Now, I've talked to some of the younger soldiers, or people that I know that are younger than me that have gotten out. I think he was like 27. But evidently things have changed a little bit, because I know when I went in, it really felt like racism was not an issue in the military.
Really?
It
You
felt
had
like it.
Scattered little. Well, they pound this concept of everybody's green.
Right. Well, not just that, but it didn't matter the color of the guy next to me. He was the guy helping keep me alive. So,
Right.
and whatever color he was, you know, that kind of quashes any sense of racism you might have.
Yeah.
At least that's
But
what I
used to.
assumed. Used
Give
to.
enough,
to.
give
Yeah.
enough peacetime though, and the ugliness brings itself to the surface. And I remember after about a year after Desert Storm, we had a couple guys from West Virginia that thought it would be funny to make a black mannequin and hang it from a tree.
And that's another
Oh.
thing. How did that guy's or whoever did that, whatever group of people did that, how did they not all collectively get their ass whooped?
Well, I don't remember it going all that well for them. But I mean, the thing about soldiers, if you don't give them anybody to fight, they just end up fighting each other, you know. And
Yeah.
there was some speculation going on at the time. I do remember some people accusing the leadership of extending more promotions towards minorities, and I think that is true, but it just happened to be true. It wasn't
Well,
because
more
they
of
were,
the army these days are minorities, so
It-
they're not passing up white guys. There's just more qualified black guys.
I mean, that was absolutely the case. It's just the
Yeah.
white guys that were qualified were already promoted, and all of the white guys that were not promoted were just not qualified. And
Or they were
that's a
dumbasses.
rational explanation, and rational explanations tend to get left over here in favor of what we can make everybody look at over here. You know.
Yeah.
Yep. Everyone got to do the white thing. Right.
So yeah, after 59 minutes, have we still got to come up with a topic for next week?
Yeah, we haven't even discussed it. We brought it around to that a couple of times, and then we just
Yeah,
pivoted
we'll
again.
Pull it off.
Yeah.
Bill, pick a topic.
What was the two topics I came up with the other day? that you
No,
didn't like?
pick a topic in English.
Ethical hacking you came up with.
No, it wasn't ethical hacking. It was ethical
Wasn't it?
telemetry.
Yeah, because there's some buzz with Fedora.
Yeah, I saw that. I reported on that.
Leo and I were talking about that on OTC. The Fedora wanting to build some sort of ethical open source method of collecting telemetry for.
I want to state it was two people who were fairly popular, famous people making that comment. It has not been reviewed by the FESCO yet. Fedora Engineering Steering Committee, they haven't said one way or they haven't ruled on it yet.
Oh,
Okay.
You can talk, that's the thing, in Fedora you can talk about anything. So many articles I get for Full Circle News have the final statement, the Fedora Engineering Steering Committee has not yet ruled on this. And on that particular one, there was sort of an undercurrent that they probably would rule negatively on it.
well, that would be unfortunate, in my opinion, because I'll tell them anything they want to know, because I want to be stood.
You already do, probably.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I go on a podcast, right, and I talk about all the things I do with Linux. You know, I want these projects to know. I want Audacity to know that you've got people using this to make Linux podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
That way, they know that they need to not abandon development on the Linux side. You know, so I mean, I think it would be. We want to say in this space that no, any kind of telemetry is bad because reasons, and I just think that that's a little short-sighted.
Okay, so do we want to do ethical telemetry?
Sure.
Yeah.
Bill, do you want to run with it? Do you think you can come up with a 30-minute spiel, or?
I'm not sure. I've got the truck show next weekend, so I'm going to be barely here. But I am going to be here.
Telemetry.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle,
the lion sleeps tonight.
In the jungle.
Come on, you could have come up with a better lyric than that. In the break room, the quiet break room, the hacker sleeps tonight. See, you can do better than that.
This is Joel going, I spend my time with these folks.
One thing I hate about this cup, it was sold to me as a stainless steel cup. This is not a stainless steel cup. This is a plastic cup that has one band of stainless steel around the outside.
And that, in a nutshell, is what is wrong with the world today. Isn't
Absolutely.
It, really?
This is stainless steel.
Yeah. I just did get a stainless steel cup, although it was made in China, so you don't know what grade of steel it is. But
I think this is
steel, and not like, you know.
well, I got a stainless steel ring once from China, and there was so much nickel in it that it burned my finger.
Mine's made of the same stuff they used to make light bulbs out of.
Have you told your wife that?
Mm-hmm. She's got one too.
All right.
Tungsten.
And she knows that. Oh, tunk. All right, fine.
He won't last forever. Why buy her a diamond?
Well, yeah.
That reminds me. I need to
look.
sort out
Not
my
not all of
anniversary.
us are on number 6.
Owie.
But
Yeah,
some of us are.
I mean, I must say, Moss, you know, you managed to find 6 women who said, at some point, under some kind of inebriation, possibly, that they would marry you and stay with you.
Did you live in Vegas
Oddly
for a
enough,
while?
there was no inebriation.
Okay, but that is 600% more than me.
I had no intention of having more than one marriage. The fact that the woman I picked decided to leave me out for the trash is not my fault. In most of the cases, I'm sure I contributed to it somewhat, but I'm sure they also didn't know what they were marrying when they decided to marry me.
No, but I'm just saying you've done very well to be on number 6. And,
No,
you
a
know.
lot of guys don't manage to pull that off 6 times. It gets
Yeah.
It gets
With
more
no
difficult
alimony.
as you go on.
When you're as poor as I am, they don't take you to court for your money.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, Susanna stayed with me longer than anyone else. I had one non-married relationship that almost lasted 5 years, and that was my previous longest, but Suzanne's been here over 6.5 years. So
Actually, it's 7 women, really, isn't it?
yeah, there's
So now it's
5-year
700% more than.
Well, that doesn't count all the other times that I managed to get myself engaged to somebody and I managed to have to disengage.
Should I just go off and commit suicide now? Because
you don't like your wife?
No, because Moss is just such a stud.
Look.
You know,
You quit looking after you got married. That was the whole thing. You quit trying to pick up the next one.
After I got married until they got rid of me and I had to start looking again.
Yeah. I mean, it's like
it's very much serial monogamy.
Yeah, you know, there's certain pieces of information that I found out, unfortunately, after I got married that would have been very useful before I got married. So, as an example, the easiest girls in the hospital are the midwives. Unfortunately, I found this out after I had 2 kids. But it would have been... but, you know... that would have been
I literally have a list with some number of details, but not too much details, of every woman that has actually managed to get me to bed.
Oh my Lord!
And yeah, enough details that I know why I'm not with them anymore.
There's no need to share that. There's no need to share that. Okay. This is a sign that the live stream has gone on too long.
At least we have a topic.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm 70. It takes a lot of living to get here.
Can't argue with that.
I can't argue with that at all, really. Fair enough.
Especially when you're poor. Finding someone to stay with you also can be an economic issue.
Yeah, women are pretty expensive, man.
Right? Oh, did I say it out loud? Oh, no, you said that out loud. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, actually, in my third marriage, I was the expensive woman.
Okay.
My third wife was an engineer for digital electronics, and I saw what I did to her budget, and it wasn't pretty.
Please tell me that's not a euphemism. Please tell me that's not a euphemism.
He's not being euphemistic.
Yeah, that's good. Thank God for that. Thank God for that.
Not that he
Anywho,
didn't do
alright
the
then.
other thing, but that was not particularly a euphemism.
Cool. Yeah. Anyway, so ethical telemetry it is then, is it?
Hopefully, we
Alright,
can
Good.
find enough
Another
topic
topic
for
on
it.
which I know nothing.
They make this thing, Moss. I don't know if you've checked it out before or not, but it's called the internet.
Wikipedia.
The internet.
Nobody lies on the internet.
Mm.
I saw that in
But
a
you
meme
could-
that George Washington posted.
You
Yeah,
could
I learned
probably
that.
form your own opinion based on the information on the internet.
Maybe I'll just ask Chat GPT
Do it.
what I should know.
And use it as an example of unethical telemetry.
Mm. All right then, gentlemen. I shall love you and leave you. What? Past 9 o'clock now. In the UK, in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. And I shall
But
see.
Scotland doesn't even get mentioned anymore? Okay.
No, it doesn't, because Great Britain is the union of England and Scotland. So that's
Yeah.
why it's. That's why. It's called
You
Great Britain.
forgot Wales in that one.
Wales doesn't count because Wales was incorporated into England. So the way it works is that the English took over Wales and just basically annexed it. They couldn't take over Scotland and annex it, so they basically had a kind of marriage, and hence the name changed from England to Great Britain. And then to kind of placate the Irish, because the Irish were basically a colony, they were
yes,
added
but
on.
the name Britain itself indicates the Welsh and only the Welsh.
Yeah, it does. It does. But hey, hypocrisy never stopped the English.
And it doesn't to this day, even to those forebears.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
I shall
let's
see you
not
guys
start
next week
talking
then.
about relics in the museum.
That's me, right?
Yeah. All right, guys. Take care.
Okay, bye, Majid.
See you later, man.
All right, ending the stream.
I guess that means we're done here, huh?
I think so.
Think so.
That
I
was a
will
good-
see you guys Saturday.
That was a good hour of streaming.
Not bad. Have a good rest of your weekend, guys.
Bye.